But what was portrayed as an Egyptian fight for democracy back in February has turned into disillusionment. And as RT's Gani Chichikan reports, this has become something of a trend for countries caught up in the Arab Spring.
Almost a year after Mubarak's fall, Tahrir Square is again stained with blood.
It's about the dignity of the Egyptian people. We don't want any more humiliation.
Here is another revolution scene, Libya. The ousted leader, Muammar Gaddafi, was killed last month. The people of Libya are now left with a country in ruins and a government they didn't choose.
I think there is a reign of terror going on against those who disagree with the Libyan government. It's not presented that way in the Western media, but it is a reign of terror. If you speak up right now against the new authorities in Libya, you're likely to go to jail or be executed or disappear.
In the meantime, Libya's interim government, brought to power by NATO, is strengthening its grip on the country. NATO and some Arab states now openly call for regime change in Syria. The louder they call, the more violent the opposition becomes.
Western countries and the capitals of some countries in the region are openly recommending the opposition to not hold talks with the Assad regime. It looks like political provocation on an international scale.
Civil war is brewing in Syria. The whole region seems to be plunging deeper into crisis. While people suffer in the continuing wave of violence in the Middle East and North Africa, some analysts say certain powers might be interested in keeping the trouble boiling.
There are certain powerful interests outside of the Middle East who want to bring chaos as a rolling scenario, discontent and chaos, in order that it long-term will be militarized directly by NATO, and that the oil resources of these oil-rich countries, by and large, can be directly put under private hands.
It looks like the so-called transition to democracy in the wake of the Arab Spring is not going too well. More blood is being shed. We're looking at an Arab winter and maybe a new Arab Spring around the corner. As tensions rise and as certain global powers are pushing for regime change in more countries of the region, the wave of revolutions could turn into an ocean of chaos. I'm Gani Chichikan reporting from Washington, RT.
Well, the Arab